Hello, hello. On today's show, we're going to talk about Loki and The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 1 finale. Mike says he doesn't have a comic to review today, but he's not coming empty-handed. And Pat asks, how much fantastic can one man take? Welcome to your favorite live streaming the audience loves it. We haven't even started. Welcome to your favorite live streaming whatnotting podcast, comics and collectibles in the crawl space. As usual, I'm your third or fourth favorite podcasting host, Kevin, and we literally have a full house today. We've got to start with Patrick.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. And then, of course, Mike.
Hey, good morning. Hey, before we start, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Larry for helping me out with my dog this morning. So if anybody wants to know more about that, tune in Monday to our Cover Combat 6 show.
Yeah, that was fun.
So, thanks, Larry. You're the man.
All right, thanks, Larry. Yeah. And then lastly, we can't forget, Karen is back as a background producer. You want to chime in, Karen, or she kind of already did, actually. But go ahead again. Yeah. Hey, Karen, just to give you a heads up, I was kind of messing with the volume on it. I don't know whether I still left it high because I was doing this boo during the cover combat that I wanted to be especially high volume. So I don't know whether you want to turn that down or not at all, but that's one of the okay, thanks. That was one of the train wreck moments in the cover combat show that you won't want to miss. To check that out Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. But it was a great show. We did have some technical difficulties, some dog difficulties, and we were lacking in background producing, but it was still fun, right? Right, guys?
Yep.
All right, cool. So check that out. Can't wait to see everybody's votes on the next round. So, but I've got some fun stuff today too. Are you ready? Are we ready to get this going with me?
Let's go.
Sweet. All right, first off, before we get into, oh my God, I still didn't change the title of the show. Sorry about it. Karen actually reminded me, and I should have changed it when she reminded me, but I'll fix that. Hopefully, if you're watching this, it's fixed by the time you see it, but I'll fix that after the show. Because I was actually going to put this in the show's title because I'm excited to talk about this briefly, because I know Walking Dead and Loki go a little bit long, but I didn't want to fail to mention this movie I watched.
I want to see this.
Called How do you pronounce that? Sisu? Do you know?
I do not know.
Okay, so let's just go with Sisu. That's what I've been saying. I watched this on Amazon Prime. This is a new movie, just came out this year. And this had no familiar faces in it to me. Did it have any familiar? Or you haven't watched it yet, Pat, but does it have any familiar faces you're aware of in it?
Not that I have heard. No.
Mike, are you familiar with this at all?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the trailer, and it's on my want to watch list. I think it wasn't filmed it's not a Hollywood movie. So I think a lot of the actors, I think it was. I'm not sure what. where it was filmed.
Yeah, I think it was filmed in Finland, maybe, or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because this is a sick movie. You can probably tell where I'm gonna end on this by what I'm saying here. This is ridiculous fun, adult fun, because this is gory as heck, and language, all the adult things that we like to lay back and enjoy sometimes. This delivers. This is kind of I took this as a mix between like what you typically see in kind of John Wick action, but combine it with World War II and one of America's favorite pastimes, watching Nazis die. So this is a great movie. This is a movie about this miner. He's a gold miner. The gentleman in the poster here, he's mining for gold, and he strikes gold, this big, humongous vein of gold that's worth, I don't know how much, but lots. And he's very happy about that. He's kind of been living, it seems like, this poor man's life until he finds this gold. So he's excited. This is going to change his life. But this takes place right at the end of World War II, where I guess World War II is technically over, and Germans are crossing Finland, just going home, I guess. And there's been a ceasefire called, so there's no battles supposed to be happening anywhere. But in his travels to get the gold where he needs to sell it, he comes across Germans that are headed home, and of course, in true Nazi-esque form, they aren't just passing by saying, "Hey, buddy," and just going along. They gotta harass this guy. They discover he has gold, and they want it. So that's the setup of this movie, and that's pretty much all I want to say about it as far as the specific plot is concerned, because the rest is just, in my opinion, a thrill ride. And this guy is like I said, John Wick, kind of maybe mix in some Rambo there with how, clever and, how much he improvises with what he has available to defend and fight these Nazis with. It's nuts. This movie is nuts. No holds barred, off the chains, nuts, gore, action. And literally, this guy doesn't have one line. Well, unless you want to consider his scream of joy once he finds the gold. Aside from that, if you want to call that a line, he only has one line in the movie, and it's the very last 5 seconds of the movie. So that's pretty interesting. And there's not a lot of dialogue in this movie in general, too. The Germans go back and forth a little bit, but not much. This is pretty much pure action, adrenaline ride, and I recommend it for adults that are in the mood for something like that. And it's super well done, in my opinion. I heard this was like super cheap too, as far as the production cost was concerned. I don't know what kind of box office or whatever it got back or anything like that yet, but a big recommend. I give this, as far as fun is concerned, 9.5 bags of popcorn. And quality ain't much farther behind. I'm going to give it 8.5, 9 bags quality wise. This is just great. Check it out. Sisu on Amazon Prime. And I can't wait till you two watch it and you know what you think too.
I'm going to give your microphone 2 bags of popcorn.
I'm breaking up again.
It's getting worse the more you talk. Yeah. But real quick, before we get off of this, I don't know a lot about World War II, but I know some about World War II. I had no clue that there were Nazis in northern Finland. It's like, so this is like, where's this coming from?
Yeah. Well, and let's just play this safe too, that I'm not saying 100% they were in northern Finland. The reason I guessed Finland is because I do know that Sisu, we end up finding out later that he's a Finnish commando.
Yeah, it's northern Finland. I looked it up.
Oh, that's where it actually does. Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, okay. All right. Forget everything I was just going to say then. Okay. So I didn't know either. So, okay. But yeah, great stuff. Check it out. I totally thought about you, obviously being a John Wick fan, big John Wick fan, Mike. And then, of course, World War II. We talk about that all the time as well, too. Yeah, man, I guarantee, I definitely think you'll like it too, Pep. And I guarantee you'll like it, Mike. So, yeah, don't waste any more time. Get on that. So, as well as everybody else. All right. And then sorry about that. What were you going to say?
But it's not for kids.
But it's not for kids. Not for kids. Not for squeamish adults either. All right. Then I watched The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. This is actually episode 6, and it's the season finale. So, Mike, I mentioned in the pregame that I kind of hesitated to ask. I didn't want to ask. I'm going to ask now. Did you watch it?
No, I have not. I didn't watch anything this past week.
And Pat, you're still not watching it because of Dead City. So you want to check out them, because I definitely want to.
Yeah. I will say I finished Dead City this week, and now I just got to find those missing episodes of Daryl Dixon so I can catch up on that.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll check out and be watching for you to come back.
All right, cool. Okay. All right, Mike, I'll try to keep this short and sweet too, but man, I think Daryl Dixon having his own show is exactly what I needed to get back to The Walking Dead.
That's good.
This was so good. You know, I don't want to, even though you're not minding spoilers, because I know you said you'll still love it. I don't know what I don't want to spoil for you in this. But I would say actually what happens in this episode is what you would, if I were to make you guess as to what would happen in the finale of this, you'd probably be able to put most of it together. Marion, the big boss lady that's kind of in charge of doing experimental stuff on the zombies. And then Quinn, which is the nun's ex-boyfriend, Laurent, the little boy's father. And then, of course, lastly, Cadron, which is the guy that Daryl killed his brother in episode 1. All 4 of them kind of meet up for this epic clash at the end, and it doesn't disappoint. Man, I was very happy with how this played out. I actually failed to mention in episode 5, at the end of episode 5, they all got captured. I was too focused on just the fact that we finally got to find out how Daryl got to Paris to begin with in episode 5, to also mention that at the end of the episode, it ended with Quinn, the nun, Daryl, and Laurent all being captured by Marion. So that's how they all got together to start episode 6. And there's this gladiator in the arena moment with Daryl. They actually have, I don't know how well you remember Gladiator, Mike, but they actually had Daryl and Quinn chained together in an arena to fight acid zombies.
Nice, yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. And then they've got a lot of kind of, for lack of a better way to describe it, kind of some deep moments where, Quinn actually gets bit in this fight, and Laurent has to be the one to save the nun from zombie Quinn, and his decision he makes there, which I'll leave that as a surprise for you. And then of course, like I said too, as you'd probably guess too, after this whole big battle between all the players involved there, they finally make it to the nest. And that's why I was hoping you'd watch this episode, because I got one big question about making it to the nest that I'm still kind of scratching my head. Hopefully in the future, either you or Patrick, once he starts watching it and gets to this point, remembers to answer this one question I got for you right now, which obviously you won't be able to answer, Mike, but maybe a viewer can comment below and answer this question for me too. But Cadron, the guy that's the brother of the guy that Daryl killed, has Daryl, the nun, and Laurent dead to rights. Like, he's gonna kill him. The complication in this part is there's four of these henchmen together. One of them's Cadron, and then the other three are henchmen of Marion. So Cadron doesn't exactly have any attachment to them, but big boss lady, they're big boss lady's men. So he's got to go along to get along. They tell Cadron to kill the boy. So Cadron's actually kind of this baddie with, a heart. So he can't bring it upon himself to kill the boy, which I understand. But why he wouldn't kill Daryl in that instant is beyond me, because in response to them telling him to kill the boy and him not being able to do it, he in turn kills all three of them and then lets the whole batch of them go. So this is my biggest beef with this episode, because I kind of had to just kind of tuck that away as I guess that had to happen for the episode to continue. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, I really couldn't make much sense of it. And I don't know whether I'm missing something about that. And then ultimately, the reason they're able to find the nest after that is because then he tells them where the nest is. So it's like, and then as he tells them that and he's walking away, he gives Daryl another threat. He's like, you won't survive next time we meet again, or something like that. The whole time I'm like wondering, well, why didn't you kill him already?
Why did he survive this time?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that was a head scratcher for me. But like I said, I'm able to dismiss one completely just on it has to be that way for the show to move on. But then they make it to the nest, which of course was Daryl's entire mission this entire season. And then Daryl sticks to his plan of hopping a boat to head back to America. But then sure enough, he's literally on the beach. Again, this guy, Daryl is so close to there every time, right? He's literally on the beach to get on this boat that's going to take him home. And guess who? So first of all, when he gets to the beach, of course, a bunch of zombies then pop up. So he has to have one last battle with it seems like if they formed together, they'd be big enough. There'd be enough of them to be a horde, but they're so separated. He's able to fight 20 of them off and then kind of run towards the boat, right?
Yeah. Zombies are terrible at organizing.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as he gets near the water and he's getting ready to get on the boat, none other than Laurent, little boy, that he failed to say goodbye to, because when he left, the little boy was still sleeping, so he kind of went in and looked at him and just kind of let him sleep and left. But Laurent's upset he didn't say goodbye, and he's, he's upset in general that Daryl's leaving. So Laurent yells from the beach, Daryl! Now Daryl, this is literally how the season ends. Daryl looks back, and Laurent is on the beach with hordes of zombies. Hordes of zombies coming around him like he's getting ready to be killed by them. And Daryl's on the beach getting ready to get on his boat. And that's how it ends. Him looking back at Laurent, what's he gonna do? Nice. Is he gonna get on the boat? And I think the easy answer, obviously, he's gonna go save Laurent. And I guess that means he's gonna miss his boat again, but we'll see. That's how the season ends.
I guess scratch what I said. It seems like maybe they did organize.
Yeah.
Oh, they finally got their act together.
Yeah. But man, that little boy, he's wrecked a few things you haven't seen yet for Daryl. Like, as much as Daryl loves that kid, well, thank God he does, because the boy's been a lot of trouble.
He's a liability. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's a kid. What are you going to do? And then there's actually a special. Again, I won't say this because I don't want to ruin it for you. But there's a big moment. Actually, I'm kind of letting the cat out of the bag a little bit by saying what I'm doing with saying that was the final thing that happened in the episode. It's not actually the final thing. There's another thing, another 10-second. It's not after a credit thing, but it's literally the final scene of the episode. It's after what I just described is over. There's another extra special thing that happens, which is pretty cool.
So it's just another tug to get you into season 2.
Exactly. And it works too. I'm excited.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that the review is so positive because, what I saw, I was loving it, and I'm excited to get back to it.
Yeah, I'm going to give the overall season a good 8.5, 9 bags of popcorn. I'm pretty happy overall. I'm so happy about this last episode, and I've said this a bunch of times too. Finales make or break for me sometimes, and I'm so happy with this finale that I've forgotten the beefs I've had with the other episodes. I don't even know. But I loved it. Check out Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. Short season, 6 episodes. Won't take you long to catch up if you haven't yet.
Hour and a half long episodes.
You know, I looked at one of them. I think some of them are, but not all of them.
Right. Well, that's with commercials. I'm watching it, and there are commercials in there.
Yeah.
So I guess if you take the commercials out, it's an hour.
Okay. Right.
Of actual viewing time.
Gotcha. You're probably right. Yep. All right. So, and that was on, I watched on Amazon Prime, but it's technically on AMC Plus. So, but I don't need to have a subscription for that. I guess is included with Amazon Prime. I guess that might differ for people.
No, it's not. I looked actually last night. I was like, I want to try to at least watch another episode. And I went to Amazon Prime, and episode 1 is free, but you need to have that AMC Plus, I think, to get the other episodes.
Well, I don't have it, and I don't pay extra for it, so I don't know how I'm doing it.
I don't know. On mine, they wanted to charge me, so
that's weird. We should look at that together some point to figure out what's going on, just so we can let viewers know exactly what the deal is.
Yeah.
Who's your provider?
I don't have one. Mine is through my Roku TV.
Okay.
So that's probably the difference. That's how I'm watching it downstairs in the basement. We actually have Verizon down there, but that's my in-laws area. So that's how I'm watching it with my father-in-law.
Gotcha.
In my living room, we just have Roku. We just have all the apps.
Well, we'll figure that out sometime and let the viewers know exactly what the details on that, because I definitely have not paid a dime to watch any. Karen says I have AMC, which I agree, Karen, but I'm saying I don't pay for it. I'm not paying for anything. I don't know why.
Within Amazon Prime, you might.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Let me say that. Let me backpedal slightly. If I do, it's no more cost to me than Amazon Prime is, and we never signed up for it. It was just there. So.
Okay.
Like I said, we'll figure it out, people. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks, Karen. All right, and then lastly, I watched Loki season 2, episode 3. Pat, are you up on Loki?
I am.
Mike, have you watched 3 episodes of Loki this week?
No. Thanks for asking. Thanks for checking.
Yeah, I'm going to keep checking. Someday it's going to be a different response. So,
have you guys seen the Loki Charms?
No.
Cereal box? Yeah. I guess they came out at the beginning of October. They're real limited. It's got a lenticular cover or box front of Loki. I think they're like $40 on eBay already. And they did this a couple years ago too. Like they take Lucky Charms and they're called Loki Charms. And I just saw it the other day and I was like, dang it, how did we miss that?
Oh, so you haven't seen them in stores, you just saw them aftermarket.
Yeah.
Is that a Walmart thing?
I think it's a Walmart thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
And like I think the first year they did it, maybe they only produce like 3,000 boxes or something like that. It's really limited. So
I wish I'd have known that. I'd have definitely been out hunting for that for Ayla.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So anyway,
all right. Anyway, Loki season 2, episode 3. Patrick, what do you got on this one?
I don't know if I was just not in the mood or what it was, but I just thought it was okay. I mean, the Jonathan Majors, Kang, He Who Remains, Victor Timely, whatever you want to call him,
Right.
it was a big a focus of this episode, and his choice or their choice to make him a stutter just drove me insane.
To make him a what? I'm sorry.
Stutterer.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, he didn't. I wouldn't say exactly stuttered. It was just like a. I know technically it would be stuttering, but it was just like a pause in his talk, right? He would like say it. He never like. I'm actually stuttering more than I think he did. Right? And correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like it was more of just he like paused, talked. He at the end of a sentence, which I guess is technically a stutter, but he didn't actually stutter, did he?
I can't remember because the episode kind of put me to sleep, I guess. But the bottom line, the choice they made for his speech pattern, whether it was Jonathan Major's choice or the scriptwriter's choice, drove me. It grated on me, and I got tired of it quick.
Well, I will say one thing to defend you, and then one thing to disagree with you about. First of all, I fell asleep in the first try, so I'm on board there with you. Ayla watched it on the first try, but when I woke up at the end of it, I started asking Ayla some questions, and she was even this. She said this is her least favorite episode so far. She still liked it, but she thought it was the most lackluster episode of the first 3 as well. So I feel like we're kind of all on the same page there. I watched it the second time I watched it in its entirety, and I still felt it was kind of lackluster. But I'm going to say that I was actually starting to like, I don't know if like is actually the right word, but for lack of a better way to describe it, the way Kang had the speech impediment, because I thought it kind of sold the whole what they wanted us to believe in this episode was he was like this, lower class citizen. He was trying to come across dumb and kind of poor and whatever, living in the shack, and like they intentionally wanted to make him not this polished, intelligent person, which obviously he was extremely intelligent.
Oh yeah.
I thought they
wanted, it was a huge contrast between He Who Remains at the end of season 1 and
right.
this version of the character. Yeah, that's definitely why they did it. It just
okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't mind it. I actually thought it was pretty good, but but I can see how that would be annoying. But so anyway, yeah, like you said, this episode focuses primarily on him. It's just Loki and Mobius going back to. You might want to lay out the years for me. What the first time was 1893 or something. So
yeah, I don't remember.
They're basically following what's her name with the leader of the TVA. What's her name?
Yeah, Ravonna.
What was the name they were giving her though? They've been talking about her as a kind of an ominous name over the last couple episodes though. What's her title? I should say, not name. What title they give her?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so anyway, they're following Ravonna, the previous leader of the TVA. And they're just kind of one step behind her because the episode starts with her going back to when Kang was a child, and she gives the TVA manual to Kang as a child, I guess, to stimulate recreating another all-powerful Kang later, right?
Yeah.
So whenever Mobius and Loki first go back in time, they go to back when Kang is still a child, and they're kind of clueless. Why are we here? But it's already too late anyway. She already dropped off the manual to young Kang. So then they go into the future past, which is what, 20 years later or something, when now Kang is an adult. He's studied and read the manual. He's created the what's the machine called? You can't be like me, Pat. You're supposed to be my crutch. But whatever, the time loop or whatever thing.
The loom, sort of.
Loom,
like
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go 20 years later when he's actually created the loom, and basically the old TVA leader lady, she's there to then team up with him at that point to kind of keep the ball rolling to get to where she wants him to be sooner, right? To kind of retake the TVA, right?
Yeah.
Loki and Mobius show up then, and now they need to take Kang back to current time TVA, because they need his aura imprint or something.
Yeah, he's the only one that can unlock the system back at the TVA.
Right.
Because he created it.
Yeah. So that's basically what happens in the episode. It's actually probably so far, and this might be why we're all thinking this was the slowest one of the episodes. This is the most simplest to follow episode. It's the only complication is right at the beginning when they are in two different timelines, but then the whole rest of the episode, it's Loki and Mobius versus Ravana, whatever you said her name is, to all get a hold of Kang. Oh, and then Sylvie has discovered that the old TVA leader is trying to get Kang to make him be as powerful as he used to be, and she gets herself involved because she made the promise at the end of season 1 that she'd kill all the Kangs. So she's basically trying to track down this Kang just to kill him, which, this is kind of coincidental. Not to spoil anything for you, Patrick, but during the Daryl Dixon interview, I had a question for Mike that he couldn't answer because he hadn't watched it yet. I'm hoping you can answer this question I have for you, because this is the only head scratcher. I shouldn't say head scratcher. I pretty much know what you're going to say, but I guess maybe my problem with this episode is Sylvie is so determined to wipe out all Kangs for everything, starting from the end of season 1 finale to where we currently are. But then at the very last minute in this episode, Kang's merciful pleadings that he's not the same man she knew is enough to change her mind and let him go, right?
Yeah, I was hoping you would say something because I couldn't remember. I thought she had a change of heart because she's finally I think she's realizing that there's a reason the male Loki doesn't want him totally dead, because there might be doubts that, this might end everything if she doesn't let Loki and Mobius take him. And B, that part of his speech got through to her that every variant is different. He's not the variant that caused all this trouble before. He might turn out different. So, yeah.
So it was a dual-edged thing, not just him convincing that he could be different, but also that she started to have second thoughts about how necessary he was for whatever Loki and Mobius are doing.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then lastly, we end it with, which I thought was kind of funny. You have to remind me exactly of the quote, but again, Ravana, whatever her name is, she said something about, she'll chase him to the end of time or something like that, or something related to the end of time. So then Sylvie says, watch your words, watch what you wish for, or something like that. And then she sends her to the end of time, where the dead Kang that Sylvie killed is still rotting in the chair.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool,
Yeah.
So, And then I guess the only other addition is Miss Minutes. What's up with her? She's
Yeah, there's a love triangle in this episode.
Yes.
Basically, sort of, I guess. I don't know.
So Miss Minutes, and I guess I should stop saying Kang because what did you say his name? Victor Timely, right?
Yeah, Victor Timely.
Yeah, Miss Minutes somehow is smitten with Mr. Timely, and I guess she even acts jealous to the TVA leader, and she sabotages the TVA leader's plan to have her own time with Timely, Victor Timely, Kang, and tries to convince him to make her a real woman so they can be together. It's kind of it's not even really uncomfortable. I guess maybe you could describe it that way a little bit. But I thought it was entertaining and I thought it was kind of funny. But it was just kind of, I felt like it was out of left field. I'm like, wait, Miss Minutes, I thought Miss Minutes was kind of like this program. She doesn't have these alter thoughts kind of, she's kind of like walking the line kind of AI, but apparently not,
Right.
So she was, that'll help things. But yeah, she was pretty entertaining in this episode. So again, I agree that this episode was definitely slow compared to the other episodes, but I definitely like this episode a lot still. And having the, it was a perfect cliffhanger at the end, so.
Yeah, it was. They had to do this to get from point A to point B. We needed to know what was up with Victor Timely and start that ball rolling there. So yeah, like I said, I'll probably rewatch it again. It wasn't bad. It just little meh.
Yeah, like Ayla said, it was her least favorite of the three, but she still liked it too. Yeah. So she was really. We got to see more Loki magic in this one too, so she was enjoying that, and it was appropriate Loki magic too, because of course they're, like we said, they're in the late 1800s, early 1900s, so he's like just devastating folks like that. Loki's just like having his way with anybody who gets in his way. Of course, aside from Sylvie and TVA leader lady. So
yeah. Yeah, I totally. One thing that I didn't bring up last week when we started talking about, I had a realization.
What's that?
I think in episode 2 that I was not totally tracking. I think because you're right. They call her. She has that's her first name is Ravana. She has a last name, and it finally dawned on me that in the comics, that's Kang's wife is named Ravana.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So obviously that they twisted the character a little bit here, but. There's something to their relationship that carried over from the comics to the show.
I might ultimately end up there too. Who knows too?
Right.
Yeah, where it's going. So
Yep.
Okay. But yeah. So anyway, I enjoyed it. I give this episode a solid 8. And I'm just gonna say that for fun and quality, maybe even quality a little bit more, 8.5. But yeah, we had a lot of fun with this, and I'm ready for more, and still wondering what the haters are talking about. I think they're doing a good job with this episode. I'm actually arguably liking season 2 a little bit better than I liked season 1. I'd say at this point. See how it ends up, but we'll see. That kind of where you are for the season overall so far as well.
I mean, yeah, I'm still enjoying it. I can't really pinpoint my thoughts on. I think I still enjoyed season 1 overall, probably more, but this is only 3 episodes in, so yeah, it's kind of hard to judge.
All right, Mike, so get on it.
On season 1?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Wherever you. This is what we'll do. We're going to be traveling quite a few hours next weekend. So I'll drive. You watch on your phone.
Right.
And I'll get your feedback as you watch. That'd be great.
Yeah. I'll pick up where I left off.
Yeah.
Episode 1.
Right.
So give me your overall quickly on Daryl Dixon as the season 1. What'd you think?
Oh yeah. I said it was excellent. I loved it so much for multiple reasons that I won't get into for your sake. But yeah, I think I said overall fun. It's like a 9, quality 8, 8.5. I loved it. I loved it a lot. Yeah.
I can't say the same for Dead City. I think overall was kind of a snooze fest.
Yeah, I think I checked out after like an episode and a half of that because I wasn't feeling it. That's what the way I started the review was just saying I think I needed a Daryl Dixon focused show to get back into The Walking Dead because I'm all in now, man. It was great. I can't wait till you watch it. That's what else I was saying too. Once you watch it and I get your input, and I've got, like I said, I've got one big question I'm curious to ask you once you see it all. I can't wait to hear your overall opinion of it though because I'm loving it.
So did you guys see the news about season 2?
No, what?
And I don't know if maybe it was spoiled at the end of season 1, but Melissa McBride is going to be back for season 2.
Okay, yeah, that's actually what I mentioned. I mentioned that I didn't want to spoil something that happened at the end.
Well, it's too late. They already spoiled it by announcing she's going to be.
Okay, yeah, she's back. The last 5 minutes is her trying to catch up to Daryl, and essentially she meets up with some guys that have Daryl's stuff, and that's kind of her first clue to find where Daryl is, and she's back. Yeah, so
okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty cool.
The last part of how many seasons of Walking Dead were there? 10 or 11?
11, I think.
11, yeah. So in season 10, I was done with her. I was like, okay, just and not the actress. She's a great actress. Just her storyline. I was just fed up with her. I'm just like,
yeah.
So yay, bring her back.
And so the whole thing was with Daryl. It was supposed to be Daryl and Carol from the beginning, and because they wanted to film it in Europe because that's where Norman Reedus's wife Diane Kruger lives. That's why they set the whole show there, and that's why Melissa McBride didn't want to do the show. But now I don't know what's going on. if Norman Reedus is still together with his wife, or Melissa McBride decided she'd go to Europe, or where they're filming, I have no idea. But yeah, that's sort of the behind the scenes stuff on that.
Okay, 2 things. One, I think I checked out just long enough to like Carol again, so I don't mind her being back.
Well, season 11, maybe her story arc got more interesting again. I just had it with her.
Well, all I watched from season 11 was the finale, so all I know is how it ended. I don't know. I checked out. What I say, it was like I checked out in season 7 or 8, and then all I did was watch the finale. And I made the comment when I reviewed the finale that I didn't feel like I missed much because I was still tracking with the finale. That was like I felt like it was 3 or 4 seasons of uneventful things, I guess. I don't know. But then the only other thing I'll add, and I shouldn't say it isn't really. This is going to be a little bit of a spoiler, Pat, but I really don't think it matters. You want to trust me real quick?
Yeah, it's fine.
So this is the only question I have. There's actually a moment in one of the episodes where Daryl calls. He meets up with a guy that has a radio, and he actually calls Carol. And they kind of gave what I assumed was a teaser to something when Daryl gets back to the States. Right at the end of their call, Carol's like, "Hey, just to let you know, Daryl, whenever you get back, blah, blah, blah." She breaks up because, it's like a CB radio. She breaks up and she's like, "Blah, it's back." And Daryl's like, what, who's back? Who's back? And then that's how it ends. So the fact that then Carol left and she's now trying to track down Daryl was a little bit of and that made it even more of a surprise to me because I thought that radio CB call set up what season 2 would end up being. But now they totally threw me off any kind of scent as to what season 2 is going to be because of Carol showing up there,
Yep. I figured it all out. I got it all figured out.
Okay, go ahead. What? Obviously,
I don't want to ruin it for everybody that hasn't figured it out yet.
Okay.
I know who's back. I'm going to put it in an envelope. I wish I had an envelope right here.
I want you to do that because I want to see exactly what. Just write it down somewhere, and we'll put it in an envelope later.
All right, I'm going to write it on. This is my pick 3.
Perfect.
I'm going to write it here.
Okay. And this is your prediction of what season 2 will be.
Well, I don't know about what season 2 will be. If they talk about who Carol's talking about, yes. This is who Carol's talking about.
Oh, okay. You're predicting who's Carol saying is back. Got it.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't that it's an M? I don't listen to Eminem, but doesn't he have a song like that? Guess who's back or whatever?
That's what I said. Slim Shady, I guess. Slim Shady.
Yeah. Guess who's back? Back again. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. That's not what I put here.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so we took the real long way to answer your question, Pat. Yeah, I love this. I can't wait till you watch it as well. But that'll do it for me for what I watched this week.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack you, but I was just curious if I should waste my time but I saw you guys seem to be chuckling quite a bit, so I didn't know if it turned into a comedy show
No.
or what happened there. But yeah, if it was going to be as bad as Dead City, I was probably not going to worry about tracking those missing episodes down. So I probably will now. I want to check it out. Of course, Daryl's. Everyone loves Daryl, so I'm not surprised. So
yeah.
Yep.
There is one comedy moment in this I can't wait to hear about from you too as well. There is definitely a comedy scene in this season as well. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about whenever you watch it. So anyway, it kind of plays off like it's not really comedy, but to me it was a total joke. But anyway, so speaking of jokes, I can't wait to hear what you all have to say about Mike's top 10 covers this week. No foreshadowing there. You ready, Mike?
Yeah.
All right. Oh. Mike, you're supposed to have your thing up. Thank you, audience. Oh.
It's so funny. It's not up on my computer screen, but it's up on my phone.
That is weird.
It is weird. All right. So what was so funny about this?
No, I said no foreshadowing there. But here's what I was alluding to. That I'm sure we're probably going to be polar opposites here. This is one of the weeks I had a tough time picking 3. Where are you on this one, Pat?
That's so funny.
I know. Well, there it is. That's the joke. Exactly.
Right. You can ask Mike. I picked 4 this week. I like them so much.
Yeah. I said, hey, this isn't pick 4.
So you thought this was a great week for you too, Mike?
Yeah, I like this week. Yeah.
That's so funny. Like I said, that's the joke, because I knew as soon as I was scrolling, I was like, I was thinking these guys probably love this week.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, all right, what we got?
Okay. I broke a couple of my own rules with this list, with these 10. One of them was intentional, the other one wasn't. I'll get to those. But so these 10 books all come out Wednesday, October 25th. So if you like any of these covers, go pick them up. So Gunslinger Spawn.
Ignore the October 18th in the middle of the screen. This is October 25th.
No. Sorry.
Is Karen doing the womp 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 womp?
I haven't done that in a while.
Yep. All right.
Hey, if this show went smooth and without errors, people would think they're in the wrong place, so it's fine.
Well, we do all these on purpose. This is scripted. That's how good we are.
Right.
All right. Okay, let's start off here. Gunslinger Spawn 25, Dan Panosian, Detective Comics 1075, Bruno Redondo, which was awesome because, as we all know, he was doing a long run on Nightwing, interior and covers. So seeing him on a detective cover, I loved it.
Agreed.
Next up, Dracula #1, Martin Simmons. Then Giant Robot Hellboy #1, Duncan Fagado. Is that right? Fagado.
Grado. You were missing an R in his name.
Oh, yep. Okay. Then Something is Killing the Children 34, Giuseppe Camicoli. Action Comics 1058, Carla Cohen. Wonder Woman #2, the second printing from Jim Lee. And there's also a foil cover of that Wonder Woman #2 second printing. You can get the regular or the foil. Predator versus Wolverine #2, Gary Frank. Dracula #1, Scotty Young. Alan Scott, Green Lantern #1, John K. Snyder III. So the rules that I broke real quickly.
Karen's chiming in that she typed. Oh, she typed her choices and never pressed send to you, Mike.
And I didn't even. I had so much going on last night. I didn't even track that, because sometimes if I don't get something, I'll try to reach out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to say that your votes probably would have changed things, but they probably would have changed things. So the rules that I broke was I put the same title on there twice with Dracula, because I really love the Martin Simmons. I think it's just really kind of a classic dark Dracula look. But the Scotty Young was so Scotty Young, but not Scotty Young. You know, because Dracula is very tall and lanky, and there's a lot to it. It's not just, you know, a character on a big open blank background. The other rule is all the covers that I usually put on here are open order, no ratios, no store exclusives, no artist exclusives. Unfortunately, when I went to order this Dracula Scotty Young myself, I found out that it was a Scotty Young exclusive. You can only get on his website. I think it was limited to 1,000, maybe 300 or 1,000, and it was like, it's like $40 plus on eBay. So
Dagger.
I know
Karen's gonna hate that too, because she wants that cover already.
Yeah, sorry, Karen. You can get it, but it's like $40 to $50 on eBay. Thanks, Scotty.
All right.
All right.
So who are the? I hope the top three are the three covers I picked.
Let me look. Yeah, I can't remember. I'll look after this to see who picked what.
Okay.
So let's get to number 3. We have, as they come up, I guess I'll tell you if you voted for it or not. Come on now. There it is.
It's already up.
All right. Dracula #1, the Martin Simmons.
Fail. That's not in my top 3.
You did not vote for that one.
Yeah, I don't like this at all.
I like some of it. I don't like Dracula's face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, I don't like
all of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to retake that back and say I like the framing, but I didn't like the art.
Yeah,
Looks
I can't
like
wait. I can't wait to read this one.
What'd you say, Pat?
Looks like Sarah Jessica Parker to me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh man, no, I hate this cover.
Don't throw any shade to Sarah. She's gonna watch.
All right, next up.
Sorry, Sarah.
In second place, we have.
All
I'm
right.
not surprised by this one.
Yeah.
We've got Action Comics number 1058, Carla Cohen. And,
Nice.
yeah,
I voted for this one, definitely.
Yep, this one was just rainer. I think it's pretty stunning looking.
Pat, what say about you about this one?
This was my pick 4, and I shaved it off for Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought I you know, it's you know, a great portrait.
Mhm.
I just thought it was kind of boring. That was my final decision to shave it off.
that's actually exactly why I said I had a hard time picking 3. This was my third, and the only reason I was like, because it's obviously great, but yeah, I thought it was kind of boring as well.
Yeah.
It is great. Yeah.
And I will say the artist is somebody to watch. I was really impressed. I checked out her website. It looks like this is one of the better things she's done, but I think she's an up and comer, so she's one to watch, I'd say.
What's her name again?
Carla Cohen. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see if they because I like what DC does on their variant covers. They keep an artist for a while, so they get that run instead of just, they do one and then you don't see them again.
Yeah.
For a bit. All right, and coming in number 1, we have no stranger to the top position. I didn't hear any of that crazy stuff until the symbol hit. We've got Detective Comics 1075, Bruno Redondo.
Yep. I picked that one too.
Yep.
That's very cool.
So I'm glad to see him doing detective. Unfortunately, he's a variant cover. I mean, I like the Detective A covers, but I really like his stuff. So now, am I going to spend $5 for a second copy of Detective just to get his covers?
Yeah, we obviously see bats around Batman a lot, but do you ever wish? I was thinking about that with this cover in particular. That how Ant-Man, he's got his ants that actually help him do stuff. Wouldn't that be cool if Batman could actually communicate with bats or use bats somehow to help him do stuff, as opposed to just, I guess what he has used them for in the past is, camouflage or to hide him or something, or to scare other people away or whatever. But, actually where he has like an ability where he can do something with bats. Wouldn't that be cool?
Well, that would take him out of, what's so great about Bruce Wayne and Batman is he's just a guy. He doesn't have these superpowers or extraordinary powers like that.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So no, the answer is no.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna say this.
He has enough sidekicks already. We don't need bat sidekicks too.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I'm just gonna say Ant-Man doesn't have any superpowers either, but that's beside the point.
Well, how does he communicate? I never read much Ant-Man. How does he communicate?
It's all about tech. It's all about tech, just like Batman. Yeah.
Yeah, still no.
He's just a normal guy. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, just an idea.
It is.
Oh, but can you put all of them up again real quick?
You've had better. Yep. Let's see.
So yeah, I don't like the way Predator looks in the Predator versus Wolverine. He is too aback, or he is like too, dodging in that. I don't know what I'm sure that's what he is doing, obviously. But
yeah,
I thought
he got sliced across the chest.
Yeah, I thought he looked funky though, and I didn't like the Something Is Killing Children at all. I haven't been feeling that book at all the entire run.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's a variant cover, which I really liked the Trick or Treaters. Yeah, that's the yeah. I like
Trick or Treaters sell it for you. Got it. Okay,
yeah.
got it.
Yeah, that was my pick 5.
And then I thought Wonder Woman was kind of simple and boring. And I think you mentioned it with the other Dracula, Scotty Young Dracula, that looked just enough like Scotty Young for me to think about liking it, but not enough like Scotty Young to actually like it. And then I wasn't feeling Robot Hellboy, and then I don't like the way Solomon Grande looks in that. He looks like a chimpanzee or something. I don't know. He looks funky to me,
Well,
So
I don't see much from John K. Snyder.
Yeah.
I don't see his stuff either much.
My last pick was Gunslinger, and that was pretty much a fan vote there,
Mm-hmm.
So literally the only one I really liked was Detective, and I had complaints about my other 2 picks that I picked, so that's why I kind of felt this way. But again, I don't mind being the outlier. It sounds like you definitely impressed quite a few people, and I'm still going to probably want to grab all these. So.
Yeah. With if I get 3 from New York Mike and more than 3 from Pat, hey, it's a good week.
It's a win. Yeah, it's a win.
Mark this one on the calendar. It was good.
They are more logically scrutinizing artists than I am. I'm a very simple man when it comes to picking covers.
Yeah, but that's what I like. That's why it's so much fun. Is it's almost a challenge to. It's like, okay, let me see what I can find
For everybody.
that these guys are gonna like. And just so there were 747 covers this week. And that includes some of the ones that are, like if there's a C cover that's in color and then the D cover is the same cover in black and white. They count all of those. And then Dynamite, they always have 30 covers for one book, and it's like 20 Vampirella covers.
How many of them do you actually think you looked at?
747.
Did you really? Daggone.
Every week I look at every single cover. I scroll through every cover. And by the time I get to the bottom of the list, I'm pretty well done, because the bottom of the list is the stuff like the Vampirellas and things like that that I wouldn't put up here anyway. But I still look just in case there's something that slipped through.
Amazing.
Well, that's even more impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Pat, do you have anything else to chime in on that?
Just that, I had a hard time knocking stuff off my list, but then none of my list made the top 3. So
None of them? Not one?
none of them.
Well, I know I definitely voted with you on a few. The Giant Robot Hellboy, you and I voted on that one. Maybe that was the only one.
What were the other two, Pat? I got to know.
Wonder Woman and Predator versus Wolverine.
Wow.
The ones that you were dogging, Kevin.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I hate these 3 covers in particular. Pat, what were your 3 covers? Yeah, you just covered those. Just dogged them up.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Everybody loves how different we are, though. So, speaking of how different we are we ready to give different reviews?
Yep. Let's go.
I still think it'll be an interesting experiment, one episode 2, that we all read the same book or same couple books, and we all review the same couple books one time, because we'd probably be polar opposite there too as well. Who knows? So that should be fun. We should do that. Maybe that's another finale idea. We're trying to come up with some finale ideas for next week. We'll talk about it later. All right, here we go. All right. What do you got, Mike?
I'm at the bottom.
What?
Not anymore.
Oh, I haven't shifted yet. All right. So what I intended on doing was reviewing issues 2 and 3 of the Enfield Gang Massacre. I started reading issue number 2, and I could not remember what happened in issue number 1. There had been a big gap, with DCBS orders and stuff. They shipped 2 and 3 together, so 2 was very delayed for me. I didn't have it here, so I had to wait until I brought it home, and then I read issue 1. Didn't have a chance to get to. So what I have here, which I didn't realize until I got issue 3, was it's all 5 issues are connecting cover, which I love connecting covers. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
So there you go. Well, issue 3 and 4, it doesn't look like in the picture they line up. Hopefully in the real world they do with her hair. But I did review number 1 when it came out, and I liked it. And so going on that, 2 and 3 should continue that same way. And I would give these a get it based on that.
Okay.
But other information that I did have, I know we were going to do previews last week, but I just found these yesterday, so I wanted to bring these to everybody's attention. So this is the show that you're talking about, Kevin, Rebel Moon.
Right.
Snyder's doing, because what was it? It was his idea for Star Wars.
Yeah, that's the, I guess, and I'm not sure whether that's fact or rumor that he delivered a script for the Star Wars sequels and they got shot down. So then that's what became Rebel Moon.
So this, I think it's a 4 or 5 issue series. This is a prequel to the movie or the show or whatever he's working on.
Oh, okay.
So this will be a prequel. So there's the Art Germ A cover.
Oh man, I'm all in on this.
Yep. And then Raphael Albuquerque did the B cover, it's a B or D cover. It's a variant. So
you're right. You didn't come up empty-handed. Your tease was spot on today, Mike. Great job.
I have information, and
Yeah,
I think these are December. Yep.
You said you think they're December.
Yeah, I think they're December. But I just saw them released yesterday.
Well, that'll be interesting too, because I think Rebel Moon releases on Netflix in December as well. So the movie.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. Which I'm super excited for. Is this on your radar yet, Pat?
Just because of you, Kevin. I haven't really heard much about it, seen much about it, or have much.
Did you check out the trailer I shared in the group?
I don't remember, honestly.
I'm going to tag you on it because I think of everyone, I think besides me, you'd probably maybe be excited for it as well. Hopefully, I'm not wrong on that one. So
I remember whether I checked it out or not.
Yeah, I actually, I'm thinking back now, when I shared it, I was a little disappointed. I even made a cut. So I shared it, and like, you know how you can see who saw it in the bottom right-hand corner? Like, everybody saw it, but no one commented or liked it, right? So I was, and I can't remember what my caption on it was. I think I was like, man, I'm really looking forward to this. And then no one liked it, no one commented. So then I commented myself again to kind of get it to bump up in the stream. I said, I guess I'm the only one in the comments. And still no one else liked it, liked my comment or added a comment. It was like a lonely post out there.
Yeah.
So
I guess I should like comment save for later or something, because a lot of times that's what happens. I'll be scrolling like, oh, I got to get back to that.
Yeah, that's my hope. I'm hoping at this point that just everybody saw it. I don't even know what registers that saw symbol on Facebook. If you scroll past it and you saw the thumbnail, does that mean you saw it? You know, or do you have to watch it or whatever? You know. So I was just hopeful at that point. Well, maybe none of them watched it. You know, that's what I was thinking. But I'm gonna bump it up in the timeline again. You guys gotta watch the trailer. It looks awesome. I'm excited as heck. So
yeah, well, I'm definitely excited for this based on these two covers. I actually like the Albuquerque cover better than the Art Germ.
Really,
and with what you said, this is very interesting. Yeah, I like his artwork.
You like better than the Art Germ, Pat?
Yeah, it's funny because I didn't even register that as an Art Germ cover until you mentioned it. And I looked at the girl closer and I was like, oh yeah.
Well, I'm all Art Germ on that one. So I'm not feeling it. What the heck was Did you guys hear that explosion without a dive bomb first?
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything.
Karen, are you okay?
All right. I can see Karen's having difficulty catching her breath.
All right, Pat, what'd you read this week?
So this week I read Fantastic Four number 11. But first, let's quickly talk about Fantastic Four number 8 and number 9. Basically, we were dealing with an alien wiping the memories out of everybody in this little town that the Fantastic Four are currently staying at. Just, you know, Obviously, they weren't great enough that I reviewed them a month ago, but I just figured I'd mention them. The thing that was annoying me too is it was basically focused on Alicia and Sue, and because they were the only ones that were not affected by this memory wipe, I think because of Sue's force field or some baloney. And it just was annoying the heck out of me because all of a sudden Sue Storm starts calling Alicia Allie. And I was like, who's Allie? I've never heard her referred to as Allie ever in the 60 years of the Fantastic Four. And I'm like, I don't know about this Ryan North guy. By the way, these are all written by Ryan North. These 8 and 9 were fill-in issues, or the second tier artist, I guess you would call them. I can't. The name starts with an F there. Fiorelli, perhaps. I think he's done issues in the past. He's okay. Nothing special. Then we got the number 10, which was this issue. And I know this is going to shock you, but this had a unique plot. This was about a ship that was traveling through hyperspace, and all the passengers were in cryogenic sleep. I don't know if you've heard anything like that before, but they had I know it's kind of different, so get ready. And they had like a protector that would stay awake for so long, then they'd take a shift, and then another one would wake up. But something happened to their ship along the way, and it's never a smooth voyage to your destination when you're in cryogenic sleep. So they basically, the gist of this issue was they thought the Fantastic Four were causing the problem, but because they were sort of like stuck in time, the Fantastic Four were actually trying to help them. Everything turned out okay in the end. They sent them along their way, and the Fantastic Four became like legendary heroes in their lore when they got to their final destination. But this just is another issue by Ryan North where, well, we'll get to that. Issue 11. You see there the Thing and the house that the FF are staying in, and the little puppy dog there.
Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
I don't like that cover.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the covers too in a little bit here, I think. And Alex Ross. So Fantastic Four number 11 by Ryan North and Ibon Coelho. He's sort of the main artist on the book. This issue starts out with this little dog. He's been hanging around the FF house, and the Thing keeps chasing him away. Get out of here, you dog. We don't need another mouth to feed around here, you freeloader. This goes on for like a week, and then all of a sudden we hit this point in the story where the Thing wakes up, in the middle of the night or whatever, and he finds himself alone, and the house is falling. He's like sort of floating because the house is falling. He susses out that he's falling. The dog is there as well, and he makes his way to the porch somehow, and he realizes that the house is falling down this bottomless pit essentially. And he thinks, is this the Mole Man? Is it what's going on? He can't find the rest of the Fantastic Four. He sees Alicia's phone floating in the weightlessness of their fall, and he voice calls her, but nobody answers. There's no signal. So he the house is falling. He recognizes that the walls of this pit are like metal, I guess. So he figures this is right off the bat. This starts to lose me because the Thing figures they're falling down this pit. When they reach the bottom or they stop, he's going to need food for his long journey back to the surface. So he stops at the refrigerator to get food. I don't know. Makes his way. Well, it grabs the dog too, because it's like, even though this dog's a pain in my butt, I can't let anything happen to this dog. So he makes like a sling and tucks the dog in the sling. Dramatic effect on the cover. The dog is floating out in the middle of the air. Just a choice by Alex Ross to make it more exciting, I guess.
Yeah. It's like, how do I fix this?
Well, it's a long list, my friend. So the Thing makes his way back out of the porch, And then it hits him, Ben is an Air Force pilot. He's not a total dummy. And he knows about, I guess he knows about these things called a pitot, Pitot, pitot. And it's some kind of tool in science to let you determine if he's actually free falling or something else is going on. It's some kind of avionics tool, apparently. So he goes back into the house, to the basement, and makes this little tube with liquid in it to determine if he's actually falling in a free fall. Comes back out of the house and uses this tool and realizes that he is falling, but something's weird about it. And then he shifts gears all of a sudden, and he decides he's going to stop the house from falling. He's close enough to the side of the wall where he thinks he can grab, or punch the wall and slow the house down and stop the house. So he crawls down to the bottom of the house, punches the wall. It's one of those, he's dragging the wall as he tries to slow the house down. And then he's successful in doing that. He stops the house from falling. In the whole time I'm reading the book, I'm like, how far is this house going to fall? Right. I mean, the earth is not a bottomless pit. And how is he going to stop this house? It'll all just fall apart. This things start, you start like, what is this I'm reading? So they sort of explain some of this stuff away. They sort of explain some of this stuff away eventually, because the Thing starts realizing some of these things also. He's like, the house should just fell apart. Well, then after he says it, the house does fall apart. So the Thing gathers that he's inside an illusion. This must be an illusion. So he wakes himself out of this illusion somehow, and he finds out it's the villain, the Miracle Man. First seen in Fantastic Four #5. It was when the Fantastic Four first got their costumes. He was just like an illusionist, magician type guy. I don't know if he's been seen since. He probably has been. But old Ryan North figured it would be a good time to drag him out and trot him out for the villain behind this issue. This Miracle Man is rummaging around the Fantastic Four's house. They never explain what he's really looking for. He's just there. And the Thing knocks him out and proceeds to, he's like, oh, great. I've saved the day. But where's the rest of the Fantastic Four? But before I do that, it's time for another snack break. He goes to the refrigerator again and gets food out. And that's when he realizes that there's all this food around, but the dog's not reacting to the food. All dogs love food. This dog, could not care less. So Thing susses out he's inside yet another illusion. Okay.
Ooh, the old double illusion.
Yes, double illusion. I think it's what this Miracle Man's known for, is his double illusions. Anyway, he wakes himself up, and yes, it was another illusion. The Fantastic Four are now stirring because the Thing's sort of, woken everybody up, and they defeat Miracle Man yet again. And here's the final page. I actually have an interior page. This is how they wrapped everything up. The Thing.
They better not be sitting around the table eating dinner.
That's next issue, Mike.
Oh, okay.
They say, the Thing is going to keep this dog after all. So there's your final splash page.
What the heck?
Man.
The title of the story, Ben Grimm. He says they don't know what they're going to name him, but then they name him right in the title there. Ben Grimm and Princess Masters Grimm in Its Slobbering Time. So I ask you, how much fantastic can this one man take? I don't know if I can take much more, because
you seem to have taken more than you were originally willing to take anyway already. Yeah.
Well,
Ben's head there. What's up with his head? What's going on?
Exactly.
That's the.
I mean, so he's not, this Iban Coelho. he's okay. And this thing is usually okay too. This was basically, the Thing solo story here. But this final flash page in that head, I don't know. But you know me. There's one thing. If you watch the Cover Combat shows, I'm an optimist. I love a lot of things, so I'm ready for these next 2 issues, which have the Fantastic Four ripping a page out of DC's playbook from last year. They are fighting the Dinosaur Avengers.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Interesting.
And apparently the Dinosaur Fantastic Four also shows up because there's Dinosaur Doctor Doom riding Doctor Doom Dinosaur. I don't know.
I can't wait to hear all about it.
Well, I already have this one, but I held off because I was overwhelmed and just floored by what I had just read here in Fantastic Four 11 that I couldn't take any more for the day. It was just too much goodness in my life. So we'll save that for another day. But here's where I am. Okay. I know after this 2-arc dinosaur shenanigans, they're finally getting back to the main thrust of this whole deal where the Baxter building was shunted a year into the future. So if I don't know, I am sticking with it through this return of the Baxter building. And then I think I don't know. It may be time for me to see the door out and forget about Ryan North. The thing is, I see people saying this is the best Fantastic Four's been in years, and I'm like ready to punch these guys in the gut. It's like, are you serious? It's so here. Okay, getting back to the science thing, I feel almost like Ryan North. These stories could be about anything. A lot of them feel like Twilight Zone episodes, weak Twilight Zone, because I like the Twilight Zone. These are weak Twilight Zone episodes, and they could be about any characters. He has just plugged the Fantastic Four in, and he thinks all this sciencey crap is fun. It's not. It's stupid, and it's wearing thin. And then I get to Alex Ross doing his covers, and I'm like, what does Alex Ross think about this book? Is he reading this book? Is he like, what can I salvage out of this book? Or maybe he's loving this book. I don't know. But I can't believe it.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the covers aren't very inspiring as far as Alex Ross goes. Normally, his covers are stunning and everything, and these are kind of. I think he might be bored with these.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's liking probably going to the bank and cashing his check. But
sorry,
I agree.
I had a thought on that one where you're talking about the cryogenics, and how that's used so much. Are any of us ever gonna, we go to Mars? Like, okay, you gotta go in cryogenics before you get there. Who in their right mind is like, okay, yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the first in line.
It fails every time. Yeah.
I think about that all the time with the cryogenics thing that, why don't they just write a story where, I think Patrick alluded to it being in that issue where there's always someone piloting the ship. So if they get a readout that an asteroid is headed their way or a meteor asteroid belt or whatever, or a meteor's heading their way or whatever, all these things that typically mess with the cryogenic plan, just do it in shifts. I know that's what they do cryogenics because it's going to be years and years. Just have one guy awake for 6 months. He goes into cryogenics. One guy wakes up. He's, a girl, whatever, pilot watching out for this stuff so these nightmares don't happen, but, that'd be too simple.
Yeah, they usually do. It's just, surprise meteor for whatever reason.
Well, the ones I read, the movies I watched that they used that setup, no one was awake. They were all being awoke by whatever event wrecked their ship.
Yeah. So this setup here, well, not this setup. This setup in this book, this isn't it either. This one here, there was it's every 100 years a new one was supposed to wake up and take care of the ship. So they thought of that for this at least.
Oh, okay, okay, gotcha. Oh, okay.
The problem was the one of them woke up and found the old one dead already. So something went wrong in that line of thinking also.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And I actually heard what you said you heard too, that people that are loving this too. And yeah, I knew that went contrary to what you had been reviewing so far. So I was kind of wondering that myself. So yeah.
Low expectations, I guess, for those.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into some more fun. I did trying to get back into the wagon to become a regular reader of Batman again. Oh wait, I actually read Batman 137 and Batman 138, which this is the Gotham War storyline. Are either one of you familiar with the Gotham War?
Yeah, I'm a little bit behind.
Was that sarcasm?
No.
Okay, so you are familiar with you're totally familiar what the Gotham War is.
Yeah, it's Catwoman and Batman, right? Basically.
Well, Catwoman and the whole Bat family versus Batman. Yeah. So I'm glad you're probably where I am then anyway, because my question, first of all, here's the first thing I have to say about this. I hate this kind of thing, but I'm going to add a little caveat at the end here. This is a crossover storyline between many issues of books. And it starts in Batman, Catwoman, the Gotham War Battle Lines #1. That is chapter 1 of the Gotham War. Then chapter 2 is Batman 137. Chapter 3 is Catwoman 57. And it goes through all these titles. And I've mentioned recently I'm trying to, just stay real streamlined with I only get Batman the Detective. I only get Captain America. I only get Wolverine. I only get X-Men. Staying with the main titles rather than all these other titles. So I need these books to give me all the answers in themselves somehow without me having to read, so I don't have Batman, Catwoman, the Gotham War Battle Lines #1. So I don't exactly know how the Gotham War got started. Now the caveat is I can kind of, as I've read these 2 issues, put 2 and 2 together to kind of figure things out. But, just reading 137, I couldn't gather exactly why. So essentially what the Gotham War is, and again, since you've kind of read into it and Pat, correct me on anything I'm wrong about, the Catwoman has recruited the Bat family, everybody except Batman, of course, to start rehabilitating villains, to kind of change their lives and help them at, kind of giving them second, third, however many chances they need to kind of make them beneficial parts of society. And of course, Batman ain't all about that. He's a law and order guy, so he's gonna, bust these guys as they're doing wrong and wants to put them in jail and everything. So it's kind of like this kind of Civil War setup almost, where Catwoman and the Bat family are all on one side to rehabilitate criminals as they're still doing crime. Like, it's not like their crime is in the past and they're trying to make them better, but they are still currently committing crimes. And Batman, of course, is not for any of that. And he's still fighting crime like he always does, taking these dudes out in miscellaneous ways. But now the Bat family and Catwoman are fighting Batman while he's trying to fight the bad guys, which he's always done. That's the gist of the Gotham War, correct, Pat?
Oh, I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm behind. I just kind of knew that that's what this.
Oh, okay,
setup
okay. I
was.
thought maybe you read the first couple or something. Okay, so so that's kind of the setup for what's going on here. And the part that I'm missing, and you might be able to answer this because this is regarding. They keep mentioning how failsafe, which I know you read the issues, which included failsafe. Right, that is the robot that he made to stop himself if he went rogue or something like that, right?
Correct.
So failsafe, I guess, did he have some kind of way to control Batman? Because the Bat family, as they're discussing how Batman is kind of out of control, which I'm like, what? Batman's just doing what he always does, but they're acting like he's out of control, and it has something to do with failsafe still kind of lingering, and some character that I've never heard of called Zur. It's like an alter ego Batman. It's like a mirage called Zur.
Right.
What's the deal with them controlling Batman, that the Bat family would think that he's not under his own, he's not making his own decisions essentially? What's the deal with that, Pat?
Right. So Zurin Ra, or whatever his name is like an alternate Earth Batman or an alternate personality.
Right.
And Batman went into that personality to defeat Failsafe, but he doesn't have any of the compassion that Batman does. He's totally trouble, I guess. So they were the last I remember reading, they were worried about that personality taking over completely.
Okay, that makes total sense then. Okay, so yeah, because Zur is in this. Batman has got Zur in jail, in his own private jail cell that I guess holds mirages in the Batcave. So while Batman's in the Batcave doing stuff, Zur's kind of right behind him, like trying to still influence Batman to kind of be, like you said, kind of more cold-hearted or whatever, just kind of, making everything black and white, So anyway, so that's kind of, again, the gist of Gotham War. And in this first issue, that's when you kind of learn everything that I just said. You may have learned it already in Batman, Catwoman, the Gotham War Battle Lines #1, but this is when I first learned that that's the situation in the Gotham War in Batman 137. And then at the end of Batman 137, we got a new guy, Vandal Savage, who is apparently 50,000 years old. Okay. And he's immortal because of meteorites that came down from the sky and kind of split into a bunch of pieces, and it gave him this power. And it's the same power that Ra's al Ghul uses in the Lazarus Pit to be powerful. And it ends up that kind of while Batman is kind of having this beef with Catwoman and the Bat family, Vandal Savage has been kind of working things behind the scenes, and he kind of shows up on the last page of 137. Then we get into 138, and still more of Batman fighting the Bat family as Batman's trying to convince the Bat family that you guys have all lost your way. We need to get criminals in jail. That's what we've always promised to do. Bat family's still arguing with him. No, you've lost it. We need to help people. And what you do doesn't help people, essentially. All the while, Vandal Savage buys Bruce Wayne's mansion. And then, of course, Batman is worried about the whole Batcave being attached to the mansion. And but Vandal Savage is completely in on all this anyway. That's why he bought the mansion, because now he's got the Batcave, and he's, basically got control of, the mansion and the Batcave now. And then we find out that a character named Marquis, which I was unfamiliar with her as well. I don't know whether you're familiar with her or not, Pat, but she's kind of been she's like an Oracle type for Catwoman. Like, the Oracle's there with the Bat family, but Catwoman has Marquis, I guess. So they're all kind of, it's all focused on them and how to take down Batman and or essentially stop him from doing what he's always done. Which again, I think is ironic about this whole Gotham war. So, and then we find out that Marquis though is actually a character named Scandal Savage, which is Vandal Savage's daughter. So then we end issue 138 with Vandal Savage and Scandal Savage kind of revealing their ultimate plot to revive the League of Shadows and bring them all together. And the quote they say at the end is they're going to steal immortality from Gotham. So kind of read into that what you will. But I kind of took it as just they're basically using their immortality to take over Gotham. So that was kind of a read into moment. And then this issue actually ends, 138 ends with a Sandman preview of that new Sandman that I think you had on the pick 3 last week, Mike.
Yeah.
Sandman #1. There's a 7-page preview at the end of issue 138 here. So it isn't even a full comic of Batman. It's 7 pages of Sandman as well. So you may read into everything I just said with, the writer and artist on this too, Chip Zdarsky is writing, and the art's by Mike Hawthorne on this. So it's obviously a very complex story. You know, that's what makes, you know, in my opinion, Civil War so great, because understanding the complexities and the nuances of the disagreement while kind of agreeing with both sides, but simultaneously disagreeing with both sides, you know, kind of seeing everybody's perspective I think is a tough thing to write. So I think it was written pretty well. And the art is good. It's fine. Nothing spectacular. And so even though with the kind of negatives that I've said and the irony I've stated, I'm actually enjoying this. And Pat, you just helped me with the question you just answered as to kind of what they were talking about. I was enjoying it without fully understanding everything. Now that I understand what you just explained too, it makes me enjoy it a little bit more. And this is totally, everything I'm saying is happening while action is happening. I don't think there's one full page without some action in it. You know, there's always a fight going on, either between, you know, Batman and Nightwing, or Batman and Red Hood, or Batman and Robin, and Batman and or Damian's. And actually, Damian's the only one that's on Batman's side. You know, so Damian's fighting for Batman against Nightwing and Catwoman and all of them as well. You know, so lots of fighting, lots of action in this. And actually, this issue has Batman say "I love you" more than I've ever heard Batman say "I love you." He says it like 3 or 4 times in this issue. So that's pretty.
Yeah, well, you figure he's probably trying to get through to them. It's like, this is the Batman family. I mean, these are, and basically this is Nightfall. Just instead of fighting the villains, he's fighting the Bat family. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's a good comparison. Yep. So I think this is a solid get it. And, you know, must have for Batman fans. But I think this is a solid get it. And I'm gonna do my darndest to keep up and read every month to keep up on Batman. I keep saying these kind of things, and obviously we all know why everything gets derailed all the time. But I'm gonna do my best to keep up on this because I'm liking it, and I'm gonna continue reading it. So get out there and get it.
Yep. Yeah, the frustrating part with stuff like this is when they do, you know, you've got to get Catwoman if you're not getting that one already. You've got to get the Alpha, and then whatever's going to be like the Ghost Rider Wolverine thing. It was, you know, Alpha, Omega, and then an issue of each. So you didn't have to go very far to get the whole story, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know how many parts this is going to be. If it's a 10-part story and you're only getting Batman and Detective, or it's probably not running through Detective. It's probably just running through Batman and Catwoman. And
yeah, I've got it right here. It's 8. It's going to be in 8 books.
8.
Between Batman, Catwoman, and then Batman, Catwoman, Gotham War.
Yeah.
There's 2 Catwoman, 2 Batman, and 4 Batman, Catwoman, Gotham War. So,
Yeah. So if
basically,
you only
these
get
two
Batman, geez,
say that again.
if you're only getting Batman, they're forcing you to get Catwoman. They're forcing you to get that other miniseries, and I guarantee they're all $4.99 a piece. It's like, come on, DC.
That's exactly what I was just getting ready to say. I essentially read all of Gotham War that I'm interested in reading right now.
Yeah.
You know, these are the only 2 Batman that Gotham War is in. So stay tuned for my review of 139 to see if they just kind of act like, you know, if they don't give me some kind of resolution in 139 for Gotham War, that's going to be extremely disappointing. It's going to be like, so, okay, what happened with Gotham War? You know, they have to write it. Do you guys 100% agree? Do you agree with that too, Pat? Where they should write it in a way where I shouldn't have to get those other books. I mean, if I get the other books, I'll get more and it'll be more in depth or whatever, but I shouldn't have to get those to be able to track just the Batman story, right?
You're muted, Pat.
Said exactly. I agree.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's, back in the 80s when Marvel did, Follow the Mutants, I think is a good example. You had, it went through the Uncanny X-Men, and then you had Captain America had a Follow the Mutants issue, but you didn't need Captain America issue to follow the main story. So DC, if you want me to pick up Catwoman and the Gotham War book, so what do I drop? Do I drop Action Comics or World's Finest? What do I have to drop? They've got to realize everybody's on a limited budget.
Yeah, if it was up to DC and Troy, our LCS salesman, his answer is just get them all. Yeah, okay, that's easy. Yeah, just add another $40 to my tab this month.
Yeah. Troy's favorite thing to say to me is, well, you need to, because I'll say, well, you're not getting Catwoman. I don't want to. Well, you need to. Like, you're not wrong, Troy.
And I'll just say this here first. I love Spider-Man. I would love to continue getting, but I had to drop it because I couldn't do some Spider-Man and not some other Spider-Man, so I just dropped them all. I don't get any Spider-Man anymore at all.
Yeah.
Which is a hard pill to swallow with how awesome things I hear happen and how, cool they look. And I love Spider-Man in general too. It's tough, but I mean, they come out with the bi-weekly, they come out with 2 of the same book in 1 month too, so it's crazy. Too much.
Yeah. Well, I think Detective comes out 3 weeks in a row.
Really?
Right here. Yeah.
Makes me sad. I'll keep up with that one though.
Yeah. Great review.
Yeah, thanks. All right. Ready to see some more great stuff from Pat?
Yep.
Wait, what is it? Pat's teaser was about his comic book review today, not about his collectibles. So collectibles are going to be complete surprise. I love it. All right, awesome, Pat. Right. What we got?
I wouldn't.
The audience is loving the intros today.
I guess. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's going to be a complete surprise because unfortunately it was another slow week and we're going to revisit some things that we've already previously talked about.
Okay.
Including our good friend, the Giant Man HasLab, with just about 2.5 days to go. He is at 6,887 orders out of 10,000 that he needs as of this morning. So
that's going to be a fail. Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be close.
You think it could get that when it's only gotten how many days did it go to begin with?
30, I think, 30-ish.
Yeah. So you think when they've only gone not even 7,000 in three weeks and 5 days that they could possibly go the other 3,000 in 3 days? You think that's possible?
I think it's possible, but I'm not holding my breath that it's going to happen.
Hasbro probably isn't either.
Yeah, they're pumping the brakes. Hold up.
Well,
there could be that big push right at the end.
Right. There is usually a big push, especially with HasLabs, but whether that's going to be enough, I don't know. But they to entice people further, she's not part of the HasLab, but they announced around the same time that if this Giant Man does make it, there will be a Wasp, a classic 60s Wasp that will be hitting shelves to accompany him.
If the Giant Man makes it. So if Giant Man doesn't make it, this won't come out.
She's coming out regardless.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
So if you want a Giant Man to go with your Wasp figure, you better shell out and get the Giant Man figure. And then they have them together here.
That's pretty cool.
That actually looks pretty cool. Yeah.
If I was more of a Hasbro or Marvel Legends completist, I would, from what I've seen of this Giant Man figure, I would probably be in on this, but I know that I just don't have the time, space / funds to ever get this guy out. He just wouldn't be worth it for me. But he is really cool, especially after the additional pictures and the technology I saw behind his faceplate swapping that came out of New York Comic Con. He is really cool, but just I can't. He doesn't fit into my Marvel Legends plans.
Okay. Yeah, definitely looks cool. I agree with that.
So the other crowdfunding thing we talked about last week was the G.I. Joe Reaction Cobra Mothership. And I was kind of lacking on my dimensions and pictures and so forth. So here it is. There's the dimensions. It's like almost 3 feet across, 7.1 inches high. And then they actually did have it at New York Comic Con. First of all, we can see it started out extremely slow, and it's sort of creeping along, but it's got 2 months to go. So here are the shots from New York Comic Con. You can get a better idea. These are all 3 3/4 inch figures that are populating the mothership here. Couple shots of it. Unfortunately, they never showed somebody actually interacting with the display, but you'll see in an upcoming shot here that there's people behind it. But you do get a better idea here, I think, with the figures inside the ship. What's going on?
Cool. That is pretty cool, though.
Yeah, here's the shot with the people behind it. You can kind of get an idea better, I think.
Yeah, if I was a G.I. Joe fan with money, I might just grab that. That is pretty cool. I love it when it's the scale to the figures. Look at how many figures are in there. That's awesome.
Right. So, oh man.
Did this just have some lights on the bottom of it too, or did it have other electronic effects or something?
It does have light up features. Yeah, just I'm just trying to pull up one more picture that somehow got lost along the way.
Hopefully some cool sound effect features on this will make it even more sick.
I can't remember if there are sound effects. I'm leaning towards no, but I might be wrong about that. Where are you? There it is.
Well, next time Hasbro sound effects will get you over the hump if you fail this time.
There you go. It's not Hasbro. This is Super 7, by the way.
Okay.
But like we talked, it's kind of an odd thing because they're sort of encroaching on Hasbro's territory by using the O-ring style figures, which was kind of neat. Okay, here we go. So this was the big thing for the week, I guess, is Turtles of Grayskull.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I think a lot of people are saying that. This is like no big secret. Apparently this got leaked about a month ago. Certain people found out about it. This is sort of the key art for the crossover, and I will show you the figures coming up here. Yeah, I really don't get it. And I after seeing the figures, I still don't get it, because here's He-Man.
Hold on, let me enlarge here. The heck? Okay.
I don't know why he's blue. I mean, we always had Fakor, the blue He-Man, but they're just calling this He-Man. I
Yeah, it
don't
says
know.
the most powerful mutant in the universe. What?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Here's Leonardo. It's basically just Leonardo with some, He-Man-ish type armor.
You know what they need to do to sell this stuff?
Make it $5 and sell it at the Dollar Tree.
There you go.
Maybe, but no. This is what I was going to suggest: is if they had a cartoon that made all this stuff make sense first,
Yeah.
and then market. You know what I mean? And the cartoon was good and fun, and even if it's ridiculous, just make it make sense somehow to make
Right.
it fun. And then, I mean, seriously, how much is I have no idea actually. How much is a cartoon, half-hour cartoon of six episode series of half-hour cartoons? How much would that cost? But
A lot.
but I'll bet you it'd be worth it for what then they'd sell with this, rather than just putting these out and making everybody have my reaction, which is just what,
I think their strategy is, we're hoping Turtles people will buy this, and we're hoping He-Man people will buy this.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, but I don't understand the crossover. Yeah.
I don't understand a lot of these crossovers.
Yeah.
I think it is what I said. I think they're hoping the two sides put their money down and buy the damn things. That's basically what they think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's Man at Arms, weapons master in a half shell. I don't understand. He's not a turtle. He looks like a human with some shell armor, maybe.
They're just combining the titles of the characters to cross over, and that's all they think they need. It's crazy.
And the only other one we know is Donatello, heroic turtle at arms. So I guess he's Man at Arms crossed over with Donatello. I don't know. Maybe that's what we're doing here. Maybe I've just unlocked something here. These two are crossing over, Man at Arms and Donatello. And then these two are crossing over because He-Man's blue like Leonardo. I don't know.
Yeah. If you have to put a lot of thought into why, it's really not worth it. And it's like people that aren't fans of either are just making these things up. I don't know.
Well, I would consider myself a little bit of a He-Man fan, but this is no attraction to me at all. Making it a turtle crossover, yeah.
Did I say it was a slow week?
Yes, you did.
I didn't realize it was going to be this slow. Come on, can at least have a kicker. They jokerized something, right?
Unfortunately, wrong company, so no.
Oh, not yet. No jokerized turtle.
No, not yet. Stay tuned. McFarlane's always out to make a buck, so
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sorry. Like I said, slow week. I was picking in the bones of the action figure world this week. We'll go back to another one we mentioned last week, but I failed to have a picture. That's Hera alongside Chopper from Hot Toys.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't know what happened to that picture last week, but I figured I'd just show it. And since we're talking Hot Toys, we have the final item of the week. You may have seen it. The big news this week. There's a lot of video games released this week. The new Sonic came out. The new Mario came out yesterday. And the new Spider-Man came out yesterday. So we have Hot Toys Venom.
Nice.
So he's really big. I guess he must be really big in the video game. He's like twice the size of the Spider-Man there.
Jeez.
That's awesome.
He is $455.
Oh my God.
I think because he's oversized. We'll go through some shots here. He looks really cool. I mean, he's sort of got that muddly movie type body. I'm not sure why it's not the crisp white spider that we like from the comics, but he's got a lot of swap out stuff, a lot of different things you can do with them.
I'm going to be praying I'm going to win the lottery partially just to get this for Tyler for his birthday or Christmas next year. Unless I could win the lottery before this Christmas. Who knows? Who knows? That looks awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah. And there he
I
is
like
with
how much you can modify it. Sorry, Pat.
Yeah, I was going to say that last shot, I found out that he had him on display with the other two Spider-Men, so I thought that was really cool too.
That is awesome. That is epic. Yeah, definitely. There you go. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I want this for Tyler so bad. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, and as we found out, well, at least I found out last night that at least we have one person not watching our show today because he's too busy playing Spider-Man 2. So.
Yeah, that's Tyler got a PlayStation just for Spider-Man 2, so he's loving it too.
Yeah. But like I said, another slow week. Maybe things will pick up, and we'll have more next week. But that's it for the Horizon this week, everyone.
Well. I'll be the first to say, even with you leading in with disclaimers like it's a slow week, your weeks still end up better than I would have done, and they're still awesome. Right, Mike?
Yeah. It being a slow week action figures, it just leaves a little more money in your pocket to pick up the Gotham War books. So there you go.
Right.
That sounds like a recap.
Yeah, we ain't there yet, Mike.
Dang it. I could have used that for my recap because I only have one. Son of a...
Oh, okay. What is that one, Mike?
This is a good recap because Patrick wasn't there for the discussion about Daryl Dixon. But as a reminder, zombies cannot get organized.
I was going to say that one if you weren't. That's good. Okay.
After my slogging through all these Fantastic Four issues, I'm beginning to realize that there is a positive side to Marvel rebooting the book every 15 issues or something.
Yeah, that's true. Do not underestimate miners that look like hobos in the middle of the desert, because they will mess you up and they won't say a word doing it. See Susie something. Sisu on Amazon Prime. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You said you only had one, Mike. Were you literal on that one?
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, does Karen have anything? Does Karen have?
Yeah, Karen, you took Karen's too. Me and Karen were totally tracking on your zombie organization joke. That was pretty funny, Mike.
Yeah, that's my only one.
Okay. Pat? Are you frozen, Pat? Look at him, Mike. He's totally frozen.
Well, everybody will have to. We had a whole discussion earlier about freezing on screen, but it was off. It wasn't on the show yet. So that's why that's really funny to us.
Yeah. That was a good freeze too, because we were talking about how much Pat would be a great Santa Claus. That was a perfect Santa Claus expression on his face too. He was totally looking happy. So he must have checked out the refresh. So okay, I was just gonna talk about how Loki, although it seems to be getting a little bit more simplified as the season goes along, it's still great. So don't sleep on Loki. And if Karen, do you have anything else? Okay.
Keep your eye out for Loki charms at Walmart. I think they're all sold out, but you never know. We might find a cool box.
Okay, yeah. And Walking Dead finale, Walking Dead Daryl Dixon finale was epic. And as you alluded to with your pre-recap, Mike, in my opinion, so far in the Gotham War and Batman, you only need to read a couple Batman. You don't need all the other stuff as of right now. Stay tuned for issue 139. And then I'll just close it out with just saying that even when Pat leads in with it's a slow week, he still manages to put up some epic stuff for collectibles. So I never underestimate what he's got. It's awesome. So he's checking back in. I'm going to start my recaps because I got a couple other things, my banners here, because I got a couple other things to talk about too. Pat, did you have anything else for the recap?
Internet interruptions stink.
They do. Microphone cables stink too. That's another thing. All right. So here we go. Please like and comment your thoughts, questions, and suggestions on this video, as well as subscribe and hit that bell to get notifications. Please subscribe to Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Spotify for podcasters or many other podcast providers just recently added to iHeartRadio. And please listen to the edited podcast of this live stream on Spotify. They'll be posted no later than Tuesday. Follow XcellarComics on Facebook, Instagram, and/or X, aka Twitter, and follow Exceller_comics on TikTok and whatnot. And watch our shows on the Whatnot app. Bookmark one now to get notified when the fun will happen and when the ridiculous deals will be offered. And I meant to have this be another suggestion. I was thinking, again, this is all time relative because we're getting together next weekend. It would be epic if we could have a ridiculous deal and fun because all of us are together for a Whatnot show. We can talk more about that because we never mentioned that yet, so I'm dropping a bomb right now. So we'll see. But make sure you bookmark that show and Whatnot. I keep moving it. I'll start it whenever I got co-hosts to move things along better, ridiculous deals to keep the show hitting hard all show, or when I get 10 bookmarks. I currently have 7, so we're getting there. Yeah, check us out on Whatnot. And then check out what we have to offer on eBay at Exceller_comics and on our website, XcellarComics.com. And you can help support the show and everything we do and plan to do, for that matter, excuse me, through Patreon at patreon.com/XcellarComics. We'd really appreciate it. And watch the next pre-recorded episode of Cover Combat 6, Round 3, that will post this Monday, October 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then lastly, watch our next live stream on YouTube or Facebook next Saturday evening. We're moving it to the evening because it's going to be the season 3 finale and our Exceller group get together. So we'll all be in the same room together. That's October 28th. And we've got a lot of special things planned as well as our regular stuff and, things that we haven't even planned yet. As I've said before, our number one listened to podcast is an Exceller group get together. So they can get pretty crazy. So definitely check that out next Saturday evening. Again, If you hit that bell for notifications, you'll know exactly when we're going to start. And I'm just saying evening. I'm not even going to try to pretend a time, because we're going to spend the day together doing all kinds of crazy stuff and then tell you all about it in the live stream at the end of the day. So be there. Thank you, studio audience. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
Nope, I'm good.
Karen, you got anything else? All right, that'll do it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out all the things we do. And until next time, don't forget, appreciating great art is awesome, and reading a great story is fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Exceller out.